Hi, I'm April and this is Winnie, my beautiful red heeler and also CEO of Apollo Pets. Some of you guys might recognise Winnie from social media, but if not, Winnie is coming up on 4 years old and we have been through a lot in our time together. We have dealt with some anxiety and reactivity issues. We've documented our journey working through these issues pretty extensively on social media. And we've made really great strides in these areas and have been able to forge a life and relationship that we both really, really love. As much as I wish it wasn't Winnie's reactivity that forced me into becoming a better dog owner, it really did. There was no room for complacency with her and it forced me deep into the world of dog behaviour and training. I've learnt so much and have seen the real value of developing a really strong relationship and strong engagement with Winnie so that she'll look to me for guidance instead of looking elsewhere for external reinforcement. The one thing that's built Winnie's confidence and strengthened our bond together the most is play using our active rings. Out of all of the activities that we do together, this is what fulfills her the very most. We use it not just as a reward in training. Play is actually associated with the brain responses that facilitate learning, but also as a social relationship building experience, both of which have transformed our lives for the better. We've also been able to use our active rings to teach larger, deeper concepts such as cooperation, trust, emotional regulation, impulse control, the list goes on. All of these skills transfer over into other areas of life and are incredibly beneficial, especially if you have an anxious or reactive dog. Much like people do, dogs encounter things in their everyday life that will stress them out to varying degrees. For some dogs, this will be just minor stresses and they won't seem like they're going to affect your dog much. But for a lot of dogs, these stresses can actually layer and slowly build up. You may have heard of the layered stress model, and it's a really great visual representation of how stresses can layer and slowly build up and eventually potentially result in undesirable behaviours. This is what's known as trigger stacking, and it can take some time for these stress layers to subside. Looking at dogs through this lens and understanding how we can use play to lower each of these stresses has been such a beneficial way for me to approach working with dogs, particularly for Winnie, but also for our fosters that we have as well. Regular play can be super helpful for anxious or reactive dogs as it helps to avoid that excessive buildup of those stress hormones. Playing can help them unwind and release tension, which in turn helps them cope with all of those everyday stresses just a bit better and makes for a calmer and more balanced dog. So play can not only help us teach obedience, but it also helps us overcome behavioural issues as you're intentionally building a strong relationship with your dog and reducing their stress at the same time. Something as simple as regular play with your dog can help you optimize your relationship more than you probably think it does. Having a specific and versatile toy to facilitate interactive and psycho-emotional play has immensely strengthened the bond between Winnie and I and improved her engagement with me while we're in distracting environments. I truly believe that it's something that every single dog owner should prioritize more, as the benefits are so vast and speak for themselves. I've been able to use play to make me the most interesting and exciting thing in the world to Winnie, so that she'll want to pay attention to me even in the most distracting environment. On top of this, one of the most important benefits of using the active ring to play with Winnie is that it satisfies her innate biological needs. Not only does it do this, but it does it in a way that's safe and appropriate for our human-centric world. Winnie is a cattle dog, and if her needs aren't met, she will find ways to meet those needs by herself. This same sentiment goes for all types of dogs, and that's exactly when you start seeing unwanted or destructive behaviours starting to manifest. Proper fulfillment is key, and the active ring allows us to meet those innate needs and desires in so many different ways. Firstly, the softness and flexibility of these rings allows your dog's teeth to safely sink into it, which provides your dog with a really satisfying sensory experience. The ring design also allows it to be thrown like a frisbee or rolled across the ground, so you can do different chase and retrieve games. The shape and lightweight material means that I can easily attach it to my leash or strap of my treat pouch, for example, and it's really comfortable to carry out and about. But one of my favourite features is that it floats, so it can be used both on land and in water. When designing this toy, it was really important that it had all of the benefits that I just mentioned. I wanted it to be the ultimate toy that I could just take everywhere with me and use it for all different types of activities. Something that I could comfortably hold and also throw. Something that's also comfortable for Winnie to hold onto with her mouth for games of tug. The foam material was the really obvious choice for this product, so it could do all of those things I just mentioned. Fly, float, roll. The foam that we use for this toy is this awesome Eva foam material,
and it is incredibly durable. But it must be noted that this is not a chew toy. It is not designed for chewing. When used correctly and intentionally in interactive games, this toy can last an incredibly long time and provide hours and hours of fun for you and your dog. The best part is that it comes in a pack of 2. Now, having 2 toys of equal value opens up a whole abundance of training and interactive games that we can play to revolutionize the way that we train and play together. Last but not least, this toy can be used for all of the 6 elements of play to fulfill specific innate canine desires. If you've never heard of the 6 elements of play before, it's essentially the predatory hunting sequence that canines go through. So you have searching, stalking, chasing, fighting, celebrating, and consuming. We're getting into those in more detail in our next video, but before then, there's also another way that we can generally categorize how our dogs play, and this is a competitive style or a cooperative style. So a dog that's a cooperative player will want to play with you. They'll bring the toy back so you can throw it again for them. A competitive player, on the other hand, wants to play against you. So they might bring the toy back, but maybe not let go in an attempt to get you to play tug with them, something like that. Although Winnie enjoys a cooperative style of game a lot of the time, I would probably class her more into the competitive category. So dogs in the competitive category enjoy conflict in play, and that doesn't mean fighting, that just means they enjoy having some sort of resistance to overcome. When we choose games that incorporate our dog's instinctive behaviors into the game directly, we get some element of control of when and where they practice those behaviors. By satisfying these natural desires through play, we actually reduce the likelihood that your dog is going to go out and practice those behaviors by themselves. Whether this be chasing after cars or bikes, or digging, or chewing, all of these things might start to manifest when these needs aren't adequately met. All of these things could become regular daily activities in the absence of adequate mental fulfillment. So it makes sense that when we include these behaviors in the games that we play and design with our dogs, the less likely they're going to be to go off and do that at a time that we don't want them to. Some dogs will enjoy certain aspects of play more than others and choose to engage in different aspects at different times. While you can of course teach a dog to retrieve a toy and make them bring it back to you instead of them making you chase them, then it's no longer genuine play for that dog if they enjoy that game of chase. You're adding a work element. Most dogs really love to work, but paying attention to this differentiation and taking note of what play style that your dog finds genuine fun, that is the key to using play as a true reward in training and also as a genuine bond builder and stress reliever. When using play in training, the success of your dog quite literally depends on your dog's desire to play and the satisfaction that they actually get doing so. Police force dogs, drug detection dogs, guide dogs even, they are all trained their education through play. This is how they're able to excel at what they do and be completely consistent and reliable and enjoy doing it. By figuring out what kind of player your dog is and which aspects of play they enjoy the most, you'll be able to design the games that they find the most fun. It will take your relationship to a whole new level and you'll be able to unlock the key to using play as an effective training tool. It's abundantly clear to see how much play has improved Winnie's quality of life, and I truly believe incorporating more genuine play for your dog into your routine, both as a training tool and for fun, can transform your life and bond together for the better. At the end of the day, the reason that I got a dog, and a reason that I'm sure most of us get a dog, is that we can have fun together and live a fulfilled life together. So, with all that being said, in the next video we'll be going over the 6 elements of play and exactly how you can use the active ring in each one of them. Come leave a comment on our social medias. I would love to know if your dog is more of a competitive style or cooperative style player. And also I would love to hear your feedback on the active ring. If you have any questions, that is the place to go and drop your thoughts. Stay tuned and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.